Okay, before you judge me, every once in a while, your phone reminds you of who you used to be. Mine decided to show me screenshots from 3 years ago. I opened them thinking maybe it was a cute memory. Nope. Emotional terrorism. Apparently, I once ended an entire relationship using nothing but GIFs. I literally broke up with someone using only GIFs. No words, no calls, a full emotional separation carried out through looping 6 seconds of expressive pixels. You can clutch your pearls now. Go ahead, I'll wait.
I'm Liv, your emotionally exhausted, chronically online host. And honestly, nothing sounds more on brand for me than a ridiculous theatrical exit.
Here's the thing. It wasn't bravado.
It wasn't a performance piece.
We literally never had a serious talk. We weren't one of those couples that had weekly relationship check-ins. We barely had Tuesday check-ins. We'd send each other memes at 2 a.m. and call that emotional intimacy. Everything lived in reaction stickers and playlists. We were honestly like a modern art installation of avoidance.
So when it finally felt like it should end, I froze. Classic. I couldn't imagine saying the usual things. We should talk or whatever. Adult nonsense people use. The idea of a voice call made my chest do a weird roller coaster thing.
Texting felt like walking into a trap where both of us would suddenly ask for feelings, and then someone would cry and everyone would lose sleep. GIFs felt safer. They were a suit of armor made of tiny looping PNGs. Have you ever typed, "Hey, can we talk?" then immediately deleted it because somehow those 4 words felt legally binding? The selection process deserves its own documentary. I scrolled like I was curating a museum exhibit. Moment of quiet dignity. Low-key savage. Please don't be mad I'm crying internally. My phone glow turned my face into a ghost, and the thumbnails looked like staff pics. There was a tiny pug closing a laptop, a woman in a red dress dramatically exiting a party, and my personal favorite, a cat flipping a plant like it's mic drop.
Do you go cute? Do you go savage? Cute says, I'm soft, but I'm done. Savage says, I'm done and you should question your life. I stared at the pug and the woman and that plant cat like they were my advisors. No, because this cat looks smug. I don't want smug. Smug starts arguments. This penguin is dancing. Too optimistic. This woman throwing wine? That's a felony.
Of course I chose a third option. Something that was equal parts heartbreaking and petty. Classic me. I sent it at 11:07 p.m. because apparently dramatic lighting is important even in text threads. 3 dots. A slow gif of someone putting down a glass like they've made a decision. And then silence. I loved that silence for approximately 12 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, he's come back, with Leonardo DiCaprio slowly clapping. I sat up like I was in a theater. Game accepted. What does that even mean? Raise your hand if you've ever rehearsed a text for 45 minutes.
It escalated from there. He countered with a GIF of a cartoon hero rising from the ashes. Aggressive resilience, weird flex. I replied with the cat flipping the plant. Symbolic, chaotic, final. Suddenly, our thread resembled a live-action meme tournament, each round upping the dramatic stakes. At first, it felt funny. We were both performing, trying to out-sass each other without saying anything actually mean. Then someone dropped a GIF of a person wiping their eyes. Not over the top, just a small, awkward tear wipe that read like, "Wait, do I care?" And in that split second, the humor stopped being armor and started looking like a screen door over real feelings. I had a choice. Keep the meme duel going or switch to real words. I kept scrolling. Why? Because humor is a shield that also doubles as a time machine. It lets you avoid the present. I wanted the avoidance. I wanted to preserve the narrative that this was all antics, not consequences. I mean, my friend once broke up with someone by changing her Netflix password. Was this any worse?
Hot take. GIF-only exits are basically emotional escape rooms. There's puzzles, traps, and one or two doors you can't open. It lets you perform a breakup without the risk of someone asking a follow-up question you can't answer. It's convenient, cowardly, and deeply modern.
Also, winning a meme war feels hollow. I celebrated on the surface. I told myself I'd won an elegant, private duel. But alone later, I realized I missed the chance to be honest. That realization is not glamorous. It's just quietly embarrassing. The next morning, he texted, "Are we okay?" And I stared at my screen for a full 5 minutes, which for me is an eternity. I replied with another GIF, a shrugging cartoon, because apparently I learned nothing and also had to eat breakfast. Regret tastes like cold cereal and bad timing, and nothing tastes quite like shame-flavored Frosted Flakes. So, what did I learn? 1. If you're tempted to perform your feelings, pause and ask why. 2. One honest sentence rarely ruins everything the way a dozen clever GIFs will.
3. Owning a mess actually sleeps better than winning a meme war.
Also, roast time. I have a master's in dramatic exits and a minor in whimsical cruelty. I make artful exits that look impressive in a group chat and deeply suspicious in real life. But I'm trying to be better, mostly because my sleep schedule and dignity both depend on it.
If you find yourself leaning on humor to exit relationships, ask if that's protecting you or punishing the other person. There's a difference. Send atomic reaction when it fits. But if there's history, empathy, or affection tangled up, try a sentence first. It's not glamorous, but it's honest. And honestly, way less exhausting. What's the most ridiculous way you've ever ended or been on the receiving end of the end of a relationship? Was it a text, a voicemail, a playlist? Did someone change their Facebook status before telling you? I need these stories.
All right, quick recap without sounding like a podcast outline. I ended a situationship using GIFs. It escalated into a weird theatrical duel. Feelings poked through. I chose avoidance, and I learned the uncomfortable but redeeming lesson that honesty, short and awkward as it is, actually lands better than a flawless meme exit.
If this episode made you laugh, cringe, or feel slightly better about your own chaotic exits, mission accomplished. And if you've ever ghosted someone with a playlist or dumped someone with a meme, leave a review and tell me your wildest breakup move. And if you're feeling extra wild, make it creative. Please spare me. We'll read the best ones on the show someday. Anonymously, of course. If today's episode made you laugh, question humanity, or feel slightly better about your own life choices, then my job here is officially done. Stay chaotic.